Greetings, my beautiful, beautiful family of IP Resilience. I hope you woke up with a great mood, and I hope you have some kind of like hopes that you want to pursue, that you want to accomplish. If not, hopefully by the end of the segment, you'll have some kind of your hope will be rekindled and refreshed, and you'll be able to find something valuable in this segment that you want to like ignite your life and ignite your future and follow your dreams. And in front of me, I have an amazing person, amazing guest who will help us to reach to our dreams today. And I have Rebecca Heiss, and she is a stress psychologist, and she's the author of the book Instincts, and she's also the professional keynote speaker, and she's also CEO and a founder of The Leap. Hi, Rebecca, how are you?
Hi, thank you so much for having me on today. I am doing great. Life is grand.
I am so honored to have you because like I've seen your work. I think you blow it. The fact that you're speaking in the entire nation of the USA and you travel all over the world, and plus you also founder of The Leap. And I would like you to share with us about The Leap. People probably will hope they will read your book Instinct, but I want you to share about The Leap because this vision of yours need to reach the millions. And I hope the women and the people who will be watching it, they will be like, what in the world is this? Let me, stay a little bit longer and find out about Leap. So you guys better stick out a little bit longer because here she comes.
All right. So yeah, thank you for that kind introduction. My goodness. So let me tell you about The Leap. So The Leap began when I started coaching professional women around imposter syndrome and stress and anxiety and fear of rejection and fear of failure. And I kept saying the same thing again and again and again. I was like, okay, this is not just, the executive women at the highest reaches of, Fortune 500 companies. This is all of us have this sense. And how much can we learn from one another? Because we've all made massive leaps in our life, whether it's a leap into a big position, whether it's a leap into a marriage or out of a marriage or into being a mother or whatever those leaps are, we've been there. So why wouldn't we reach back and help other women who are going through those same positions? So The Leap is it's a community for thriving women. And it begins with this Fearless Accelerator program, where for 6 weeks, you're put into a small cohort with about 12 other professional women. And in that cohort, we go through learnings around how to navigate fear, anxiety, stress, imposter syndrome, setting boundaries, really important things, right? And at the end of that, along with 6 weeks of coaching with me, so you get to hang out with me for 6 weeks. And then at the end of that, it opens to the larger community where we have ongoing professional development opportunities, including this partnership with SHRM, with the Society for Human Resources, right? Management. So you get 12 professional development credit hours for that, which is pretty great. And within the community, we now have access to all of these other professional women and professional content providers in the areas of health and wellness. So you'll learn yoga, you'll learn how to eat better, you'll learn areas of family and relationships, how to relate better, how to become intimate with yourself and with your spouse, and professional development, right? Ongoing courses in management, in imposter syndrome, and all of these areas. So we recognize that there's a more holistic approach that is an ongoing, continuous development for women. So I am super, super excited about The Leap. There's one other element to it that I thought was kind of fun. I don't know about you, but like when I grew up, there was a column called Dear Abby, right? And people would write, and it was this nationwide column, and people would write in their questions. They'd ask, Dear Abby, what should I do? Here's the situation. What should I do? And I thought, well, that was nice. Like, and Abby had some great advice to give. But what if you could ask Dear Abby, Abigail, Andrea, like you could ask 500 women this and get their responses from their experiences. So it's really an opportunity for us to all grow from one another.
absolutely love this vision that you have created. You took something that you have learned from and you expanded, you have developed, and you cater, to be transparent to the world where we are heading. And you really want to help and equip the women so they will be the better versions of themselves and be able to function better in this life. And Rebecca, let me ask you the question about your book. How did you start the book? What motivated you to write? And how did you come up with the title Instinct?
Yeah, so I've always wanted to write a book, and I had a fairly pivotal moment in my life where somebody that I love dearly, my sister-in-law to be specific, was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and she was a sister to me, and so it felt like everything just went off the table. I started reevaluating the way I'd been living, and what I recognized is that most of the decisions that I'd made out of fear. I made out of, trying to impress somebody or trying to do the thing that I was supposed to do or that I should do based on what my parents said or what society said or what looked good. And when I realized, well, if her diagnosis had been mine, I'd be so disappointed with the life that I led. And so it shifted a lot for me. I was very grateful to spend the next year with her and have some good reflection time. But in that time, I quit my job, I'd sold my house, and I divorced my husband. So it wasn't, something that I recommend to everybody. It was a really hard period of time, but I was committed to no longer living in fear. And that meant I had to try some of the things that I'd held myself back from before, which is, well, what if I try to write a book and it fails miserably? That's a huge fear. Or I could write a book and maybe they'll do okay, maybe it won't, but either way, I will have done the thing that is inside of me. And that became the truly important thing. So that's really what motivated me to write the book. And the reason that it's called Instinct is because I explore the 7 instincts that hold us back from fully living, right? Most of life is meant to be lived fully, all in, present, completely transparent, completely open as we are. But so many of us find it difficult to show up just as we are authentically. And so I write about, our fear of failing, our fear of other people, our fear of, just surviving, right? How am I going to survive? And how our brain actually overrides all of our responses that would allow us to live fully and says, no, you should be scared. Let me protect you, rather than going all in and fully living. So that's what the book is about. And I hope it's pretty helpful to people.
I really like it because, yeah, everybody wants to hear this authentic voice, Rebecca. We women, as just like a man, we want to hide behind and crawl under. And I think the biggest strength that I have found out as I was writing the book is when you actually open up in your fear, through your pivot moments, through your embarrassing moment. And that's when the strength really comes in. That's when actually your confidence, steps up. And I didn't realize it. I think hiding it actually is a strength. But when you actually talk about that, it becomes like completely revolutionized. And right now, I'm open to talk about my pivot moments. And with the confidence, it gives me strength. So for you to challenge us all and to actually open up in your book like this, that, hey, that's okay. It's okay to be you. I think we really miss that. And I think your message that when you speak about that through the people, in a CEO about, hey, it's okay to be you. You don't need to hide anymore behind your positions, title, the money, the income, the fame, the glory that comes with it, authority. Just be you. So
It's
that's
so
just
true.
phenomenal.
It's so true. It's the reason that we love people. I often call it the Jennifer Lawrence effect, right? Everybody loves Jennifer Lawrence. And why? It's because she gaffes all the time. She says things she's not supposed to. She falls at red carpet events and she doesn't pretend. She's like, oh, yeah, that wasn't me. No, she owns it. She laughs at herself and we see her humanity. And because we see her humanity, we relate to her. We're like, oh, I do that. Oh my gosh, I do that. Oh, maybe I'm not such a horrible human being. Maybe I don't have to hide all of these flaws. It's so rewarding. It's like a huge weight off your shoulders when you can just say, I am enough just as I am.
I love
Yeah.
it. Yes, that's true. We are enough. And I wanted to complete the sentence, Rebecca. I know you have talked about your the moments that you had to lose pretty much everything and said to no to pretty much everything in your life, right? The marriage and a job and such to go and face your fear to be with the sister. And finish the sentence. Happiness is.
The absence of fear. I mean, happiness is presence. Happiness is being able to experience life fully, where you are, how you are. Yeah, that's happiness. Yep.
Let's go after it and stuff. So, and I know that happiness is just a momentary thing that we experience, but it's a continuous journey that we all, find the happiness in our own ways, and we all want to be happy, right? But the journey to our happiness is different from everybody else's, and
Oh, that's so
that's why we
important.
are here. That's why you're doing the leap to guide people through their happiness to achieve that aha moment in their life. So when they feel that, they will know, I don't want to feel anything less. So they will
Yeah.
strive and
Oh,
continue
wow.
do that with the
That's so
stuff. So
important. Yeah, that's so important. So many people chase happiness. They think they want the thing that somebody else has. They see that and they're like, oh, if when I have money, when I have that job, when I have that title, when I have that partner, when I have that yacht, whatever it is, they're like, then I'll be happy. You don't need any of those things. It's actually a letting go of those things and saying, right here, right now, I have the ability to be happy. And you nailed it with that. It's so true.
I love what you said. The happiness is not the presence of things, it's actually letting go of things because it should be inside of you, the internal feeling of joy that will have to like a leverage on that. So we'll be able to be happy because I know the women, especially right now, there are so many, the plastic surgery are like multi-billion dollar industry because in the subconsciously women think the bigger they are, the more beautiful they are, that's when the happiness is going to happen. But they face it that it's not true. It maybe lasts for like short period of time, but the money that they have spent, it's not going to help them with the confident growth. And I know that there is no such a university in a world that teaches the women to be a beautiful for who they are inside, and it's their journey that they need to get there. So, and I love what you do with your book. You revolutionize the mindset of the women. You take her with through her hand and carry her in her journey and letting her know, hey, it's okay to be scared. I'm here with you. Let's do it together. Let's find that your answers that you were looking for it. So let's do it together. And I love that about you, Rebecca. You are such a um fierce competitor. And I know people usually think, she's so confident. Yeah, but we built our confidence from the ashes, the things that broke us. That's why, wow, we are so strong.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I stand on the shoulders of giants. I can't produce the leap by myself. This is an incredible, I think often overlooked strength of women is that we are so highly collaborative and cooperative. And when we come together, we are unstoppable. And so, the whole concept behind the leap is independently strong. You and I we can make it. We can fend for ourselves. We got this. We're independently strong. But together we are unstoppable because we're all bringing unique life experiences and unique opportunities to the table to say, oh, you need a little help here? Oh, look, I got you. And when we're willing to take down that mask and say, I do need a little bit of help, we actually end up empowering not only ourselves, but our entire teams, our entire networks.
This is a very special message that you have, very strong, very narrowed, very concise. You know what you want. You're not just going different directions. You chose your path and you're hungry and determined to go after it. So Rebecca, before we close, I would love to ask you this question. I want you to talk to this woman who is facing the fear in her life, whether it's about losing the job, going through the marital problem, or a problem with the kids, or any fear that she's facing right now, because fear is the fear. It guides us, it's emotion, we fall after it. So I want you to speak to this person based on your experiences. Talk to her right now.
Yeah. So I would say a couple things. The first thing I talk about is ABCs. A, identify, ask, is it a tiger? And what I mean by that is it a tiger that's charging at you? If it's a tiger that's charging at you, like a literal life and death situation, okay, totally different set of circumstances. But for most of us, 99.99999% of the decisions that we make, that the fears that we're going through aren't life and death. They're not actual tigers. So once we recognize that, what I want this woman to do and all of us to do in the moment is then take a breath. Slow everything down and get very curious. I wonder why I feel like I have to make this decision this way. I wonder what's driving me there. Is it truly what I want, or is what other people expect of me? Sorting those two things out is huge. And the only way you can be without fear is to live in curiosity, in the present. And one of the other things that I would say to this woman is ask yourself this. It may be easy to go down this road now because it's a little less fearful. But one of the scariest things, I think, in the world is thinking 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, on your deathbed, what is it that you are going to regret as a result of that decision? That should be the most terrifying thing to all of us. And so when we can step back and get curious about why we're making the decisions we're making or the path that we're choosing, it opens the door to say, oh, this is a temporary hold on fear. But there's so much more living that I could be doing when I listen truly to my own passion, my own desires, my own value and worth.
I love that you gave them a very special steps like ABC, ask, breathe, and also be curious about any of decision and what if and what could have happened with that. So I will be putting everything down in description. So if anybody is forgetting and they wanted to write things down, so they will be able to get those tools from you, Rebecca, and be able to hold on to that and practice them as well, because I know it's not easy, right? But we know that when we come together and give each other support, at least having the listening ears, it's the game changer. So, and you are the person that always, so cheerfully sharing your information with others. You are generous about that. And that's what I love about you, Rebecca, that when me and you met in our first time, we were sharing, we were so open with each other, and you were so generous with the lot of information. You were like, okay, what I have, I'm going to give it to you. What I know, I'm going to share with you. And I'm like, you know what? She's a real deal. She's a person that I would always recommend people to go and follow. And the fact that we'll be working together with the Leap and doing this, to empower women, I think it's gonna blow the mind. And your book is going to be absolutely instrumental to every woman who is going to be listening to this podcast right now. So, Rebecca, we want to say thank you so much for just being you, for teaching
Thank
us
you.
it's okay to be ourselves. It's okay to open up, Rebecca. So from the bottom of our heart, from our listeners, of our family of IP Resilience, it's not our last one, or it's not our first one. So you're gonna be guys listening and hearing and seeing us more often. So you better be ready. Connect with Rebecca right now. Like the description is down below. Buy her book, get into her program, and let's start rolling and building the community of the strength, of the confidence and resilience. God bless you all, guys.